Suspects concerning Benue killings. Reps move to stop political office holders from using private hospitals, including schools. Troops kill ISWAP cameraman, recover propaganda camcorder in Borno State. Now, in a very recent development, APC senators rise to 70 as 4 PDP lawmakers defect. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in a very recent development, writes House of Reps seeks approval for extra $47 million for Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project. Also, in a recent development as well, Amechi vows to stop Tinubu's re-election bid, rally support for ADC in Rivers ahead of 2027. And Datti Baba Ahmed reveals only 2 people can stop him from contesting for president in 2027. Details now. Thank you for staying with us. The news at 6 begins with the Nigerian police force intercepting a notorious arms supply syndicate responsible for arming bandits in Benue and other north-central states, recovering a cache of weapons including a rocket launcher, multiple AK-47 rifles and thousands of rounds of live ammunition. This breakthrough, which followed a series of coordinated intelligence-led operations by operatives of the Force Intelligence Department Intelligence Response Team, comes as part of ongoing investigations into recent deadly attacks on communities in Benue State. According to a statement by the Force Public Relations Officer ACP Olumuyiwa Dejobi, today, police operatives stormed a forest hideout on June 21, 2025 at the boundary between Karadako in Nasarawa State and Yelwata in Benue State, believed to be occupied by bandits involved in the Yelwata killings. He said a fierce gun duel ensued, forcing the criminals to flee with gunshot injuries, adding the 2 general-purpose machine guns were recovered at the scene. Further success was recorded on July 8, 2025, when operatives along the Lafia-Makurdi Expressway arrested a 25-year-old suspect, Abubakar Isa, who was caught in possession of 3 AK-47 rifles and 1,002 rounds of 7.62mm live ammunition. Well, 2 GPMGs were recovered from their hideout in the process. Also, on July 8, 2025, Adejobi said to operatives of the Force Intelligence Department Intelligence Response Team in a tactical operation along the Lafia-Makurdi Expressway in Makurdi, Benue State, arrested him, aged 25, Abubakar, found in possession of 3 AK-47 rifles and other live rounds of ammunition. Further investigations revealed that the arms and ammunition were supplied by a notorious arms dealer, Jacob Adiku, operating from Abinsi, Guma local government area, Benue State, and was to be delivered to one Dan Hassan, a bandit terrorist kingpin known for orchestrating deadly attacks against communities across Benue, Nasarawa, Kogi, Niger, and Kwara states respectively. Now, a bill for an act to prohibit public and civil servants from patronizing private schools and healthcare services and for related matters has passed first reading of the House of Representatives. The bill, if passed into law, will stop political office holders and public servants from using private hospitals and schools. The lawmaker representing Isukwato Federal Constituency of Abia State, Amobi Oga, who sponsored the bill, said it was part of efforts to revive confidence in the country's public institutions. The bill, titled A Bill for an Act to Prohibit Public and Civil Servants from Patronizing Private Schools and Healthcare Services and for Related Matters, seeks to compel government officials and members of their families to use public hospitals and schools. While describing the development as a call to national rebirth, Oga urged Nigerian civil society groups and the media to support the bill. Meanwhile, troops of the Nigerian army have killed a cameraman of the Islamic State West Africa province ISWAP and recovered a camcorder used for propaganda recordings during a failed attack on Bita town in Gwoza local government area, Borno State. The development was revealed in a post today by security analyst Zagazola Makama via X. According to the report, the terrorists launched an assault on Bita with the intention of recording and disseminating fear-inducing footage to bolster their online propaganda efforts. However, However, Nigerian troops successfully repelled the attack, neutralizing several fighters, including a key media operative. The ISWAP cameraman, identified by the sophisticated rugged camcorder and media pouches strapped to his vest, was gunned down during a fierce exchange of gunfire. The recovered camera reportedly contains footage now being analyzed for intelligence value. Security sources said the materials were intended to glorify the failed assault and mislead the public through manipulated online narratives. Now, moving on to the political scene, the number of the All Progressives Congress senators in the National Assembly swelled to 70 today, following the defection of 4 senators from the opposition People's Democratic Party. The senators Francis Fadahusin, Osun East, Oluwole Olubiyi, Osun Central, Ane Kompasi, Akwa Ibom North East, and Samson Ekong, Akwa Ibom South, formally announced their exit from the People's Democratic Party during plenary. Their resignation letters were read on the Senate floor by Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who directed the clerk of the Senate to officially recall the defections. With a later switch, the composition of the 10th Senate now stands as follows: APC 70 senators, PDP 28th, Labour Party 5, New Nigeria People's Party 1, Social Democratic Party 2, and All Progressives Grand Alliance 1. The defections were witnessed by top APC officials, including the National Secretary of the party, Senator Ajibola Basiru, former Minister of Labour and Productivity, Senator Chris Ngige, and some members of the House of Representatives who were present in solidarity. Observers believe the development is a major political upset for the PDP, particularly in Akwa Ibom State, historically considered a strong party hold for the PDP. Conversely, the APC is expected to consolidate further control in the region. In his resignation letter, Senator Ania Kombasa invoked sections 40 and 68 subsections 1G of the Nigerian Constitution and said his defection was deeply considered and imperative. Now, moving on. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has written to the House of Representatives seeking their approval to amend the 2025-2026 federal government external borrowing plan to address financial shortfalls. The request by President Tinubu was contained in a letter signed by the Finance Minister Wale Edu and read by Speaker of the House Tajuddin Abbas during plenary today. Well, the letter indicates an additional $47 million is needed for the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project, which has risen from $700 million to $747 million. Also, the $300 million Nigeria Universal Communication Access project aims to provide mobile communication access to over 21 million people across 4,834 unconnected communities, particularly in remote and underserved areas, through the deployment of 7,000 telecommunication towers. Well, you would recall that the federal government had about 2 weeks ago announced that it has secured a $747 million loan to fund the first phase of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project. The Ministry of Finance noted that the funding arrangement, coordinated by Deutsche Bank, is the largest of its kind ever secured by Nigeria for a road infrastructure project. VOP News understands that the first phase of the project to be covered by the loan covers 47.47 kilometers, forming part of the 700-kilometer expressway designed to link Lagos State to Calabar, the cross-river state capital. In his remark, the ministry spokesperson Mohammed Manga described the syndicated loan as a significant development. He praised that the project marks a significant step towards achieving the incumbent administration's infrastructure development agenda. Meanwhile, former Minister of Transportation and South-South leader of the African Democratic Congress, Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, has declared his resolve to thwart President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's second-term ambition in the 2027 general elections. Amechi, who addressed a crowd of supporters at the Port Harcourt International Airport today, expressed deep frustration with the current administration, accusing it of worsening the economic hardship experienced by Nigerians. The former Rivers State governor decried the high cost of living and electricity tariff under the Tinubu's government. He said, and I quote, "I am tired of this government. If a rich man is spending 4 million naira on electricity, Only God knows how you, the masses, are surviving. Amaechi lamented, and there was an applause from the crowd. Amaechi's comments further confirmed departure from his former alignment with the APC, the party under which he served as minister. Amaechi used the occasion to rally political support for the African Democratic Congress, urging Rivers State residents to join the party and resist electoral manipulation. The former minister, once a key figure of the APC, has increasingly distanced himself from the party's current leadership, positioning the ADC as an alternative force ahead of the 2027 elections. However, the APC leadership is yet to issue any statement regarding Amaechi's remarks as of the time of filing this report. Meanwhile, former vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Yusuf Datti Ahmed, has stated that he would only contest for the presidency in 2027 if some certain individuals are not interested in becoming president. Speaking during a monitored television program on Tuesday, Baba Ahmed said he would only consider running for president if former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi and another unnamed figure from the southern part of the country declines to contest. The Labour Party chieftain pledged continued loyalty to Peter Obi, vowing to back the former governor if he chooses to run in 2027. You're currently listening to the World News right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll take a very short break. When we return, we'll head into a news analysis segment where obviously I'm being joined in the studio right here with Mr. Dele Fanimo, who is a political, national and social affairs commentator. To stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. You're still listening to the World News at 6. Mr. Dele Fanimo, good evening and thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
You look regal. I like how you look today. You're prepared. You're prepared for my questioning.
Oh well.
Come closer to the microphone.
I can cope.
You will definitely cope, Mr. Dele Fanimo. You're a historian. Let's start off with this. You know, after what happened in Benue, there have been concerted efforts to see how they can rout out the elements who were involved in the Dastardly Act. Would you consider the Nigerian police force telling us how they have arrested some gun runners and recovered ammunition? They actually caught them with weapons, but some Nigerians, in reacting to this, say hope they're not innocent citizens who possibly have weapons to protect themselves, and the Nigerian police will say we have apprehended some individuals who were involved in the Dastardly Act. Briefly, how would you describe the scenario?
Now, I want to express some measure of confidence in the team that went after these people. If it were to be policemen from a division, or maybe the so-called monitoring unit, or probably anti-kidnapping people, I might express doubt. You see, the IRT, Intelligence Response Team, formerly headed by this guy that is in prison now, Kyari. Yeah. And later by Dizu, who is now AIG. I tell you, they are very, very scientific. I've not heard any operation they are embarked upon that people will raise eyebrows. They take their time, they are intelligent driven, and I know that they are precise. They strike with precision. So I'm not going to doubt that they actually got the right people. They don't just move without adequate intelligence. And you remember that this is part of the team that was able to arrest Evans, the kidnapper. You know how many months they have been trailing him until they got him in Magodo. You know, so for me, it's a breakthrough anyway. And going forward, I think the security architecture should also involve this team in their intelligence gathering and operations, because these are specially trained people. And I also see further breakthroughs. You know, I've always said one thing, that it's just for the government to have that political will. these people are just ragtag. They can be dealt with. They can be decapitated in no time.
Yeah.
But when you now have people that are in the system, in the force, that are aiding and abetting them, then it's difficult for you to be able to get them. Look at somebody as brazen as using camcorder to record. These are the people that would, in fact, as a matter of fact, I think this, if I want to believe that this Agazola is not in existence.
Agazola Makama.
It's not in existence. They're just using that pseudonym because by now, the kind of intelligence this guy has, the kind of precisions he pushes out, the narrative he pushes out, shows that he has some measure of connections with these people. Because ordinary information that the police, the state actors cannot get, it comes with it with adequate precision. So he should by now should have been arrested and interrogated to know his level of complicity in the whole game.
All right, let's move on to the House of Reps having to ban political or stop political office holders from using private hospitals and private schools. It has passed the first reading. Do we see this actually being implemented? We have heard this in the past, that just to possibly symbolize and work along with ordinary Nigerians on how they have to attend to some certain public healthcare services and some public educational institutions. So I remember when the former Kaduna State Governor El Rufai told us that his son would start attending a public school, that all of his children would have to attend public schools, no preferential treatment. But later on, we didn't know if he completed that public school or if it was just a show off at the time to say, I can be what you guys are doing. There's no separation. Do we see this actually going through and they implementing it? Remember, Yahaya Bello's children's school fees at the time was about 800 million for one child before the EFCC came on board.
No, he paid up front.
He paid, in fact, he paid up to front. University. You can imagine that with taxpayers' monies. So, and then you have Nigerians languishing, having to borrow from the government through Nel Fund just to see themselves through and pursue their educational dreams. So, do we see this being accurately implemented?
It's just for the optics.
You don't trust this?
I don't trust them.
Interesting.
You see, what they would have done for us to believe in this bill is for us to show their children attending public schools. It starts from there.
Show their children. What if it's for the optics too?
No, what I mean is, of course, they come from certain constituency. The people in their constituency would also identify if actually it was for the optics. Okay. At least out of 360 House of Rep members, you would at least get about 5 that would be contradicted if they were actually lying.
Sure.
So I can tell you now, if there is a compelling need for the various constituencies to name the children of these House of Rep members, where they are currently, what they are doing currently, I can tell you, in no time, you get all these statistics, because there are some disgruntled people in their constituencies that will be ready and be available to give you this information free of charge.
Okay.
So what we are saying is, if you want the bill to sail through, you must also show the political will to see it through at your level.
Okay.
And then you're talking about medical tourism. Who goes to the National Assembly or to the permanent secretary of a ministry or a director general of an agency or department to announce that I am going for medical trip? Most of them, they say they want to go and do something in UK, do something in Saudi Arabia. They go there. Some will say they are going there for lesser Hajj. They go there, and at the end of the day, when they are coming back, people are made to believe that actually they were not there for medical tourism. So how do you explain this? It's just for the optics.
All right. Mr. Dele Fanimo, let's move on to another interesting aspect of the conversation. So, Amechi went to Rivers State to see how he can rally and get support for persons to be part of the ADC. since this supposed coalition, became re-emphasized, because the ADC has always been in existence, right? I remember this same political party 2 years ago adopted and endorsed Peter Obi in the 2023 elections. So it's actually quite funny that this is the same party that has been adopted for the proposed coalition. And there have been a lot of talks. The Obi then said, you know what, it's the time of the South. Make sure that you zone the ticket to a Southerner. And the Southerners that have indicated their interest, Peter Obi and Rotimi Amici. But there are also very strong indications that the person who has been having backdoor conversations, discussing with people, having closed door meetings, are basically Atiku Abubakar and his supporters. But people say this is politics. Peter Obi knows he has the will, the strength, and the zeal. Let him also pull through in negotiating. But just yesterday, we saw Datti Ahmed in with Julius Aburi, and according to him, he says that he wants to try and reconcile members who are having fractions within themselves. And the agenda actually is the fact that, according to him, he believes that the Labour Party is a strong political platform to run in 2027 with a party that gained, according to him, 10 million votes. So he believes that this party is a strong contender.
10 million votes?
That is what he said. If you had listened to the interview, he said 10 million votes. That is what he said. He believes... Datti Ahmed.
Okay.
Yes, he believes that it's obviously INEC told us 6 million. Datti Ahmed said 10 million votes, and that if that party could deliver that, then he believes that party is good enough for 2027. Now, others now said, okay, it's possible that since Peter Obi is very busy, he's doing that to hold that fort down, just in case the ADC does not pick Peter Obi, or with the machination and whatever movement that is ongoing, and he sees that he doesn't have any viable option there, he could quickly come back to the Labour Party. And there have been a lot of conjectures. Now, he recently said that him running as a presidential candidate will depend on two factors. If Peter Obi decides not to contest, and another individual he did not name, despite the fact that he knows it's the time of the South, that until these individuals are not running, he would run. The big question is this: he doesn't even trust the ADC. He doesn't believe in the interest of the party for the common people. He also thinks that they're all interested in power, and that they've not said anything different that would motivate or propel anyone to say, you guys intend to instill and enact change. How do you see this entire thing unfolding?
You see, I'm persuaded to believe that Peter Obi is not oblivious of what Datti Ahmed is doing.
Yeah, he said so. He confirmed it.
You understand? And so, by that token, I want to let you know here that ab initio, from day one, when this ADC thing came up, I knew that Peter Obi is not factored in ADC. And I said it here, if you recall, that number one, ADC is, the foundation is shaky and wobbly.
Okay.
Two, it is a contraption to hoodwink Southerners to bring Atiku as presidential candidate. And Atiku, having seen Peter Obi almost out maneuvering him in the last election, cannot trust him as his vice. So either we like it or not, except for those who think from their heart and not from their brain.
Except for those who are being emotional.
Yes, those who are emotional. It is you see, when you talk politics, it is the reality you must focus on, not the ideal. It is only when you are looking at the ideal that you are taking from your heart. I wish this should happen. Wishes don't play politics. It's pragmatism that play politics. Okay. So I knew from day one that Peter Obi is a passenger in ADC.
Okay.
Amici is a passenger in ADC. Adekweshola is a passenger in APC. El-Rufai is a leech in ADC. So, technically, a house built on quicksand, what happens to it? It will be washed away by wind.
Okay, so here is the thing, Mr. Dele Fanimo.
So it is good. It is good that Datti is holding forth for him in Labour Party, and Labour Party Obi will return.
All right, Julius Aburi was seen with Nyesom Wike I think 2 or 3 days ago, the same Wike who has on several occasions been speaking against, Peter Obi, and also solidified the supposed threats from Monday Okpebolo, concerning banning Peter Obi from having access to Edo State without any prior information for the sake of his security. And when Nigerians saw that picture, everyone got worried. They feel that they don't trust Julius Abure in that party. They don't trust anything about him. Julius Abure said, "We're open for reconciliation. All members who have defected or intends to leave, come back, let us reconcile." And they asked the question, "Julius, what were you doing with Nyesom Wike 2 days ago?" And he said he had a meeting with him, and he's not compelled to disclose what the content of the conversation is, and that he's free to have conversations, liaise, talk with anyone as a Nigerian. It doesn't necessarily give any weak link with the Labour Party. But Nigerians do not trust that process at all. They don't trust it. They don't think that the Labour Party, Peter Obi, or Datti Baba Ahmed, or the Nenadi Usman Committee should come back until Julius Abure is no longer the chairman of the Labour Party. So in a minute, quickly, please, what do you think about this?
You see, Abure's fraternity with Wike, they deliberately made it known to the public. Otherwise, they could have done it secretly within the premises of their home.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's a signal that Abure also wants some level of relevance.
Okay.
And it feels that, look, already his position is being threatened by Nenadi Usman group.
Okay.
So technically, he will always want to have some survival strategies, knowing fully well that Peter Obi is one leg in, one leg out. So, but the overall thing for me is, let's not look at the optics. Let's look at what we stand to benefit if the phoenix of Labour Party rises from its ashes. Otherwise, some people will be stranded in ADC as they move on.
All right, Mr. Dele Fanimo, thank you so much for taking your time to be with us on the World News at 6. I sincerely do appreciate your input.
Always my pleasure.
All right, my name is Esther Wachiko. It's a wrap on the World News at 6. See you at 7 o'clock for the Evening Rush. Thank you for staying with us. Up next, an interesting program is coming up. Just stay with us.